like my ass off and cook my ass off, and then the streaming kind of happened right after that.
So did the streaming happen during, like, was it during COVID that you started? Like 2020, I guess?
Wow. It was just last year, so 2021.
2021.
August of last year.
Okay. Oh, wow. So, like, it's kind of wild to think of the trajectory, right? Because I'm kind of an analytics geek, and I look at all this stuff, and I think, holy crap, like, from August, what month is it? It's September, so a little over a year. Like, to see where you're at has been nothing short of pretty amazing, to be honest. Like, and I know that we all think of this because I think we all have a little bit of imposter syndrome, like we were kind of talking about earlier before we started recording. And like, to see that kind of just explode for you, and I personally think it's because, like, for me it's the cooking thing, right? I actually don't watch a lot of VTubers. I know of them, like I know of Hachima-chan, right? Like I know that, like, the memes or Reddit, whatever surrounding it, but I don't know anything of the community. And so, like, when I saw that you were doing cooking streams, I was like, this is different. That's cool. And so it's just wild to think it's only been a little over a year. I'm still, like, kind of shocked by, like, the growth, right? That's really cool.
I'm shocked that you don't simp for a VTuber. Man, like, everyone has a fave.
I don't know. It would be weird to simp for Giri because she's like, we're just like texting every day, so I can't simp for her. I gotta
we don't use the word simp here. We like use Oshi. Am I your Oshi, Paul?
Sure. I don't know what that means.
Oshi just means like your utmost favorite VTuber. Like, there's a difference between simping and then like an Oshi, you know.
Okay, we'll do that. It's probably lingo that is too much for my old boomer brain to understand. Like, that's kind of what that vibe is.
To stay up to date on. I will say, as a side note, that is like one of the benefits of teaching, like, full time. I teach in a high school, and actually, no, my students are out of touch with culture and reality, so I take all that back. They don't teach me. Joe is giving me the thumbs up. Casinos. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. It's just who they are. They're very private people, but that's fine. Yeah, but you got to keep up with that lingo, man. You got to know what the people are saying.
Yeah, I think there's a very different culture on every platform, right? Like the Twitch platform has its own culture in chat. YouTube has its own culture in the comments and the viewer behavior. Twitter, Instagram, like, all of them have their own cultures. I remember, this is going to be an interesting question, Giri. I remember when we were DMing on Discord about, like, the cooking collab we did, and you sent, like, some like pog face gif. I don't even know what it was. I was like, I don't know what that means. I was like, I have no idea what that means. And you were kind of like elaborating, and how, as you know, someone who may have not been growing up with this generation, how was that to, like, acclimate to, right? Like, to really, like, get into that.
Oh, it's been really fun because I've kind of branded myself as a boomer now. Everyone knows. I have been
You're
lovingly.
Not a boomer. Get out of here.
I have been quote unquote lovingly referred to as Lola Giri, which is just like Filipino for Grandma Giri. They call me Gram. They call me Granny Giri, old hag. You know.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I've kind of made that my brand, or my style, where it's like, oh, well, there goes Giri, not knowing anything again. And sometimes I just really don't. So Chad has been very eager and willing to kind of teach me the lingo. I literally didn't know what POG was until after I started streaming, and then everything else came after that, like out of pocket, Keck W, or like Keck point, or like it's just so many things. Like, I'm still learning to this day, like, new lingo, but it's funny. I love the chat engagement with that comes along with it as well, and chat kind of things are entertaining, and it's not like I'm acting. I'm not pretending to be a different person. I just really don't know sometimes, and people just think the contrast between a boomer streamer and maybe a streamer that's more in it, the contrast is kind of different as well. And then a lot of my friends are younger than me, so it's just kind of the dynamic is different, and the way that I speak is different. The way that I think is a little bit different sometimes compared to my peers. So I don't know. I think for me it's worked out. No, I haven't gotten any hate. We're like, oh, what's wrong with her? She doesn't know shit, you know. no one's ever said that.
But I think
it would be crazy if people did that, though. You know.
Yeah, I think because if you just embrace it, like you said, and you just like, oh, what does that mean? More often than not, people are just gonna say, oh, it's just this.
Yeah.
Right?
People
Like
just
Keck
want
W,
you to
I
be
didn't know what that
authentic.
was
Yeah.
until I played World of Warcraft, and I realized it was just like orcish speak for like lol, right? Like literally it's LOL. You know, I didn't know that. And it's like stupid things like Pog, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, those are like the little circular discs made of cardboard that you would
Yeah,
slam
that's what
down.
I thought. I was like, why are we
Right.
playing Pog? Why are we
I'm like,
playing
no one
Pog in
has
the chat? Like,
Pogs.
what's happening?
Right.
I thought they were
I'm
literal
like,
Pogs. Yeah.
Yeah. Why does that mean play of the game? I don't know, right? One of them. Okay, so this one gets me. I'm an old school MMO player, right? Like I grew up playing EverQuest 1. That was like
Oh.
my jam, right? Like I am old as hell. And I like, okay, so I just said LFG. What does LFG mean to you guys?
Let's
LFG?
freaking go.
Right. Okay. So to me, it's looking for group.
Oh.
So when I would see people get excited in like a YouTube comment section, they would type in LFG, and I'm like, for what?
Look,
What do you-
yeah, where are we going?
For what?
Where are we
What
going?
are we
Yeah, I
talking
literally
about?
it just
Where?
it,
Matcha?
yeah, and I'm
Matcha?
like sometimes the lingo just goes like flies over my head,
Uh-huh.
but you're seeing it like real time.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you're like, oh, what does that mean? Okay, cool. Let's roll with it, and that's a skill in and of itself. I think at that point.
Well, I think that's the really fun thing about streaming and having that chat connection is you like community becomes so important and you get a chance to talk to other people and learn from other people and open yourself up to different experiences and different, cultures and different languages and chats and stuff like that. And I think that is like the beauty of it and what's really fun. And I think that's what makes a really good streamer good is someone who's just like eager to listen to their chat and learn from them and have fun with them and doesn't come in with like like a pretentiousness of like I'm better than you kind of thing.
Yeah,
The-
like,
the
I'm the
holier
streamer.
than thou
You're
kind of
just the
thing.
viewer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of something that we've seen, or I guess I've seen in your chat, because I don't know if you've seen many of your streams, but it's like there is a culture within your chat that exists really only within your chat,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a very interesting thing to witness because like chat, I don't stream. Maybe you can clarify for me, but like chat is its own entity, right? Like so, the way I see it is like hive mind, right? Like it's a bunch of like birds or whatever that are controlled by one master like thought process,
One
and they
master
come
person.
together and they're
Yes.
just like the chat.
Yes.
Do you see like if you rated someone right with like 2,000 people, like does that carry over? Like have you created a subculture of people like
Oh,
that
no,
are like
see,
Giri's chat?
So my I don't want to say this is specific to my chat, but the general etiquette is every streamer's chat is a different hive mind. So normally, depending on who I rate, if I know that, for example, they're like say so content or they're very friendly, I would give them a warning. I'm like, okay, chat, behave now. Okay, I don't want to see no swear words. I don't want to see no disses up in her chat. Okay, you got to behave. You're representing me right now. And then
I like that.
everyone knows, like all of the chat and the viewers, there is this like silent understanding that every hive mind is different. So they might raid and go like, oh my god, look, guess what? Usually when you raid, they're like, oh my god, what'd you do today? Thanks for the raid, Giri. And the chat will be, oh my god, Giri burned the rice. She didn't wash the rice. They make fun of me at my expense, but that's totally fine. But once like they're assimilated into the next streamer's chat, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they just like kind of ask, oh, what are you doing here? What's the game? Do you need help? Is backseating allowed? I hope you're having a great day. Everyone just calms right down, and then they
That's cool.
take on the new hive minds, which is really great.
Yeah.
That's what I really love about Twitch chat, where they have an understanding of how to act, and if you don't know how to act, ask, and things like that. Yeah.
That's so cool. As someone that I don't really watch a whole lot of streams either, but I've been really preoccupied lately with the collapse of society and like communities in general, which I realize is intense. But you're giving me hope is what I'm getting from this. I'm like that's really like lovely to hear that there's just a group of people that come together and they want to go have fun and then they all know how to act and how to be responsible and kind and nice to other people and then they kind of share that with other people and that is a beautiful thing, and my hope in humanity is restored for today.
I think it's something to be said about maybe I don't want to discredit any younger creators, right? Because it's really up to the creator to foster that, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time when people are trying to be part of your community, they relate to you, right? Or maybe they're there for the ride or whatever it is. And you see this happen on YouTube, you see it happen on Twitch, but it's like, as a creator, you should foster that kind of an environment, right? Where you're like, all right, guys, we're going to go visit another streamer. Like, I don't want to see anybody acting up, you know, because I will ban you, like, whatever, right? Whatever the repercussion is, like, don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint Senpai. And that's kind of like when I've seen that in your chat where, like, okay, we're getting a little out of hand. You'll see chat, like, calm down a little bit. I've actually seen it in real time. Like, this is kind of funny. But it's good to see. And I think we need more of that, right? I'm not in the streamer community. I'm not very familiar with it, but I have seen it on YouTube with various channels who maybe do different things or whatever. And like, they have their own communities, their communities act certain ways. And I'm like, I personally feel like we need more of that, like just putting more good back out there as much as possible. So it's really interesting to see like your chat versus, I don't know, anybody else's, maybe if we're just like a gaming channel or something like that.
It varies a lot. Like I've definitely have seen some of my friends unfortunately get hate rated due to competing in certain game competitions, and then she would still get like people from his chat coming into her chat like few days after the competition is over already, just to tell her that she shouldn't have won and stuff. Yeah. And she's like, wait, like, are you serious? Like 3 days after the fact? Like, and like, I'll spare details and whatever, but it's definitely, not all the time where you get a nice chat. Sometimes, depending on the streamer, you do have a little bit of a toxic community. Sometimes it can happen, and then those toxic communities kind of travel and stuff. But fortunately, I feel like for VTubers, at the very least, for the most part, our viewers are very kind, very respectful. They may not be as kind to me, but that's within the stream community that I have, you know, which is totally fine. But yeah, it's different. I feel like VTuber community, IRL streamer community, gaming community, just chatting community, they're all very different a little bit.
Yeah. That's so
I think what I've seen on your side is in chat, it almost reminds me of working on a kitchen line where it's like the jibs and the jabs aren't malicious, but it's like you're talking crap to the guy next to you and you're in the shit and you have like tickets hitting the floor from the machine and you're talking crap to each other, you know, and it's because like I've seen it both ways where like you'll talk to somebody, be like you'll talk a little bit of crap to them and then, you know, back and forth and you just ha 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 and you laugh about it. And that's really cool to me, where you can't find that a lot because maybe somebody takes it the wrong way or whatever, but it's like hopefully everybody knows that it's just supposed to be lighthearted. Yeah. Because you don't want to get bullied all the time. Like Chad's
I get bullied all the time.
I know. I'm gonna pop into your chat every now and then and be like, all right, listen up.